Okay, welcome everybody to the RoxFilm Festival Daily Reads. This is the inauguration of the 25th anniversary of the Daily Reads, and we have a lovely piece by Lois P. Roach. And today for our actors, for the Zoom, we have Naheem Garcia playing Leonard, and Daniel Callahan playing John Fingers Masterson. We have Odis Spencer Jr. playing two roles, the roles of Pastor Johnson and James. We have Josh Olumide playing Lil Pete and Sergeant McBride. We have two people playing one role. First, we will have Carmen Dillon playing Mabel, and then later we will have Lashmi Dowds playing young Mabel. And then we have Ezra Stevens playing Henry Mad Williams and young Henry Mad Williams. And Ashley Alderondo will be playing Lena and Linda. Justin Davis will be playing Junior Franklin. David J. Curtis will be playing the narrator, and I will be playing, I can't believe I had to look, Sarah Jane. Oh, did I forget Maria Wilkins will be playing Marlene and Aunt Blanche. And now, welcome to the reading of Lena and Leonard. Take it away, David.
Lena and Leonard, written by Lois P. Roach. Fade in to opening credit sequence. Exterior porch, Roxbury, Mass, 2007, early evening. Leonard Morgan rocks slowly in a rocking chair on his front porch. At 80, he is a proud, dark-skinned Black man. He grips the arms of the chair as he rocks. He hums softly as he rocks. Something he made up.
My baby's gone. My baby's home. My baby, my baby, my baby's home.
Interior, the first floor of a home, early evening. Family members and friends move from room to room, fixing plates, placing food on the dining room table, finding seats on stairs in the corners to eat. It is loud, and they show signs that the food smells and tastes good. Lips licking, someone humming, and someone steals from someone else's plate or offers a taste from their plate. They are family. Someone is at the stove. Someone opens the refrigerator and brings out more food. All seats are filled around the kitchen table, except for one. The home is a reflection of lives well lived, with photos and faded wooden floors from past parties. There is love in this house. Exterior porch, Roxbury, Mass, 2007, early evening. Leonard continues to rock and hum. Interior, the first floor of a home, early evening. Most of the people are dressed in Black with the exception of Marlene, dressed head to toe in white. They have just returned from the burial ground after the funeral. Moving in and out of the living room is cousin Mabel Morse, 80s, checking on the food and taking people's plates whether they're finished or not. Aunt Blanche, 80s, is Leonard's sister. She is seated on the couch with her back directly facing the back of her brothers rocking on the porch. Holding court in different corners of the living room are the children of Lena and Leonard Morgan. Sarah Jane is the oldest living child, followed by Linda and the still mischievous Lil Pete. Marlene, the wife of their deceased older brother James, rounds out the group. They represent the hues of the blend that is Lena and Leonard Morgan. Other people in the house include Henry Mad Williams, a still handsome light-skinned Black man in his 80s. His son, Mad Jr., 50s, and Reverend Pastor Johnson, 80s. Well-wishers of all colors move in and through the rooms as well. Pastor Johnson uses his voice to call everyone together. His deep baritone serves as a reminder that he could have had another profession as a singer. As he sings and repeats the verse, his voice grows in strength as others join in. This includes Mabel, who was not born to sing.
That pastor has the softest voice I've ever heard. I wish I could hear him.
That by his holy word, he's never failed me yet. Oh, can't turn around. We've come this far by faith.
Lil Pete, shouldn't we go get Daddy?
Well, man's got enough on his mind. The love of his life just passed away. He needs to be left alone.
Nobody should be left alone at this time. Mama and Daddy were together almost 60 years.
Leave him be, Sarah Jane. He's got to do this his way.
He's never failed. Lord, I call this family together. On this day, thou hast chosen to take unto you the heavenly spirit of Lena Morgan, a proud, strong servant of yours, O Lord. I ask that you bless her and the many who call her neighbor and sister and wife and mother. I pray that as we gather here today, you have carried her unto your heart, where she may rest in peace. May Sister Lena and the Lord hear us rejoicing, happy that she has found her final resting place. And it is a peace until all that time we come together. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Johnson. I can't believe my baby cousin is gone. Seems like I spent my whole life looking out for her.
You did, Mabel. You've taken care of many, Lena. Her children, all the children you've taught over the years at school.
A beautiful service, Pastor Johnson.
God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you for loaning your mother to all of us in the community. Many families living here in the home is because of you and your father. The determination of both of her and your father have been a lesson to all of us. Excuse me, I think I'll go get something to eat.
Bless you, Pastor. Sarah Jane, didn't he used to keep an eye out on Mama?
Now hush, Lil Pete.
What are you two fussing about?
How good Mama and Daddy were for each other. I wish I could get my marriage together.
Takes a lot of work, you know. This marriage stuff isn't easy.
You sound as clueless as that man I'm married to.
Yeah, well, they made it seem easy.
You'll figure it out. You love him.
I do. Sometimes love is not enough, you know?
I know. Your brother was my whole world. And then he was gone. Death is cruel.
I know, Marlene. We miss him too.
They hug and walk off as Marlene wipes her eyes. Linda Jameson Morgan walks over to her brother, Lil Pete.
What was that all about?
Just Sarah Jane talking. Ain't that enough? How you doing?
I have my moments. I miss Mommy.
We all miss her, honey. Now, don't you get to fretting. Your mama wouldn't have that. Didn't she look lovely? Mr. Payne made her look right beautiful, like she was lying in state.
She looked dead, Aunt Blanche.
You can never tell what gets into that girl. I didn't mean no harm.
Then now you know Linda's always been different. Got that special spirit, Mom used to say. Now, let's go with some of that special spirit you put in that rum cake of yours, huh?
Oh, this is the best one yet. In honor of my only sister-in-law. Where is that brother of mine?
Exterior porch, night. Leonard Morgan sits, steady rocking. Dissolved to interior living room, June 1943, night. Groups of people dancing in the living room of James Carter, Leonard's best friend. The room is dimly lit. They move to the music of Billie Holiday and Lester Young. Various body parts move in an array of positions. A young Leonard walks through the crowd dancing and grinding with whatever female part he can make contact. Dressed in a zoot suit, he cuts a fine, young, muscular, arrogant picture at the ripe old age of 19.
All right now, Henry, ease up off that poor woman. She's just a tender young thing. Mabel Morris, girl, you putting a hurting on that man. Yes, there's a party going on right here.
Are you having a good time, my brother?
Oh, James, my man, thank you. This is a hell of a send-off. I just don't want to hurt nobody.
Gotta leave you with something special to remember.
Interior, kitchen, night. Leonard and James cross the hallway into the kitchen. Standing against the refrigerator is Lena Jameson, a tiny, light-skinned girl with a confident attitude. She really doesn't look much older than her 16 years. She has no business being at this party. Leonard sees her.
And I think I just found me something to remember. Hello.
Hi.
Lena, Leonard, Lena. Leonard, can I see you for a minute? Now.
Oh, yeah.
You can't be thinking about nothing over there.
And why not?
That there's jailbait. And before you're going into the Army Air Force, you gotta be out of your mind.
Do what? I just said hello, James. And man can't let his heart beat just a little bit. Besides, I'm gone. I ain't hardly thinking about stirring up any trouble. I'm under a term of service to the United States of America. I've been drafted to do my duty. I just want to say hi.
That's all?
Cross my heart, and I hope to die. I'm going to fly planes. I don't want to mess that up.
Promise?
Promise.
But that's Mabel Morse's cousin. She's supposed to be watching her, and bringing her to the party was the only way Mabel can come.
Looks to me like Mabel Morris isn't watching anyone except that man she's grinding with right now. Isn't that Eric she's almost under? I could help with the babysitting. Man, relax. I'm just fooling with you. You know, I only deal with grown women, the kind that got some experience. Now, get out of my way. I'm in need of another beer.
Interior, kitchen, night. Lena leans against the refrigerator. Leonard has to pass her to get to the beer.
Excuse me now, little lady. I'm in the market for a beverage.
Didn't mean to get in your way.
No, not at all. What did you say your name was?
I didn't.
You sure?
I didn't.
Well, who are you?
Lena Jameson.
How old are you, Lena?
I would think you would know better than to ask a lady her age.
And I would think that you be Mabel Morris's cousin, and she's supposed to be watching you.
And I would think if you know all that, then you wouldn't need to be standing here asking me all these questions. Am I right?
You got a little bit of attitude for a little bitty thing. I'm the guest of honor.
Oh, forgive me, Leonard.
Oh, you know my name.
Leonard, off to travel the world.
That's right. You want to travel the world?
I want to live in Paris or maybe Africa. someplace where they appreciate me.
You do know Africa is a continent. Do you appreciate you?
I do. And yes, I sure do.
Then that's really all that matters. Forget anybody else. If they see you appreciating yourself, they'll do the same thing too.
I hope so.
Interior, kitchen to hallway to living room. Night. Leonard grabs the beer in Lena's hand as he pulls her to the dance floor. He walks backwards, moves her past people making out in the hallway and into the living room. Slow music plays and he means to hold her like a gentleman, but Lena nestles up real close and holds on tight.
Who do you want to be, Lena?
I'm Lena. Can't be anybody else.
I mean, what do you want to do with your life?
I want to do it all. I'd like to travel, no limits and nobody trying to stop me. Are you scared about leaving?
Hell yeah. There's a whole big world out there. And I aim to see it all of it. I aim to see all of it. I want to see, smell, hear, taste, and taste everything. Man's got to do what he got to do. Besides, I just got drafted.
Your family's gonna miss you.
Nah, most of my people are down south, Virginia. I spent most of my time growing up here in Roxbury. I got sent up here when I was young to be with my aunt. Keep me out of trouble, I guess.
Do you get into a whole lot of trouble?
I don't know, not really. I just take life as it comes. When I got these papers, I figured there's nothing I could do about it. So maybe I'll get to fly a plane.
I've never been outside Boston. I'm ready to go though. I want to visit Los Angeles. Maybe live there. It's warmer than here.
How come you ready to go? How come you ready to go when you haven't even grown into your age yet?
What's that mean? That doesn't mean anything. My mama said I was older the minute I was born.
I guess so. Lord knows you ain't no bigger than a minute.
A whole lot can happen in a minute.
Oh, girl. Let me get up out of here before you get me in some trouble. You like to dance?
I do.
Well, get ready for another spin.
Leonard turns her one more time, dissolve to interior living room later that night. Leonard and Lena are still dancing. There are fewer people there, and the party is starting to show signs of wear and tear. Mabel comes out of nowhere. She's a bit flustered and out of breath, like she might have been somewhere doing something she shouldn't have been doing.
Girl, we better get out of here. I'm supposed to get you back to my house before my mama gets home. The after hours joint is gonna be closing. We gotta go.
It was nice meeting you, Leonard.
Likewise.
I hope I see you again.
You will. I'll make a bet of that.
Write to me. Let me know how the world looks out there.
Nah, girl, I don't know nothing about writing.
Where's a pen?
Come on, girl, we gotta go.
Wait a second, Mabel. I've got to find a pen.
Girl, the man said he doesn't write. Now come on, child.
Lena runs over to a desk in the living room. She finds a piece of paper. Mabel follows behind her. Leonard follows behind Mabel.
You are such a stubborn child once you got something in your head. We got to go.
Leave her be for a minute now, Mabel.
Here. Sometimes we do things we didn't think we would do. Get home safe.
Come on, child. We gotta go. Bye, Leonard. Good luck to you.
Exterior porch, night. Mabel rushes outside. Lena looks at Leonard and runs back to kiss him on the cheek. She runs off. Leonard looks at the address, puts it in his wallet, and heads back inside.
What's the matter with you deadbeats? I know there's still some partying left up in here. Come on.
Dissolve to exterior field, 4th story, Virginia Beach afternoon. Barbed wire encloses the base, making one wonder whether this is an Army Air Force base or the outer edges of a jail. Leonard and company line up as they each prepare to shoot their target. Leonard shows his determination as he prepares to shoot the rifle in his hands. He shoots and it's an average shot. The drill instructor, Sergeant McBride, barks out the score. He is in his 30s, medium height and build, one of the two white men in a sea of black faces. He walks down the line of soldiers shooting at their targets. His accent makes it hard to tell where he's from. There's a touch of South, but some New York too.
What have I got here? A bunch of little girls? I thought I had some tough city boys who knew how to fight. Y'all are better off hitting the enemy with the gun than trying to shoot them. What the hell is that, Morgan?
Prepared to do better, Sergeant McBride, sir.
Look like you preparing to get yourself killed, boy. Wouldn't want you covering my back, boy.
The sergeant walks out of earshot. Leonard is with his buddy, Junior Franklin, a tall 18-year-old brown-skinned Southerner who stands next to him.
No, you wouldn't want to be. You wouldn't want me back. You wouldn't want me in the back.
Man, hush before Light Bright hears you. He'll have you and me cleaning the damn latrines.
Junior man, wouldn't be the first time.
Well, I'm trying to make my last the last.
Sergeant McBride turns to come back down the line when a whistle blows.
All right, boys, fall out. It is time to dine.
Time to dime my ass. If that cracker don't stop calling me boy.
Leonard and Junior join the others and return their weapons to lockup. Together, they walk to the mess tent.
What you gonna do? Ain't a damn thing you can do. You know he's doing this to get at you. It's a waste of time. We just need to qualify.
It's just a waste of my time, and I'm not having it.
You better get used to having it. We're here now.
Nah, man, they ain't getting me forever. They can have this here shit. Someone telling you when you get up, when you shoot, when you shit. I ain't having it.
Interior mess tent, a few minutes later. Leonard and Junior heap food on their plates as they walk down the food line. They find a table. The entire room is busy with soldiers sitting, laughing, eating. The tent is divided between Black soldiers and white officers.
I'm having as much of it as I can get. I want some of what they got. And I know where I come from, they've got a whole lot more than me.
I ain't studying no white man. I want my own business, want things my own way. If I have to wash another damn dish.
I hear you. All I'm saying is if you want to have that business, you better study them and studying them real good.
I ain't got that time. I ain't got
Shit,
no time.
nigga. All you got is time. Who you fooling? You northern niggas are a trip. You're here. You ain't going nowhere till they tell you so.
That's why I love you. That's why you love us, Junior. Hell, ain't no color man up north gonna allow himself to be called nobody's junior.
Fuck you, Morgan.
Fingers joins Leonard and Junior. He's a handsome, dark-skinned man, both tall and well-known for his talent with the saxophone.
He's so quiet.
You ain't supposed to be playing the sax.
What y'all fussing about? You get like a bunch of old women.
Ain't no woman up in here.
Exactly. Now, you get upset when your whole finger, when the old fingers calls you a woman, but you ain't got shit to say when the Sarge calls you a boy. Now, how you figure, fingers?
Maybe because he's more woman than a boy.
Now fuck all y'all.
Me think he do protest too much.
Ooh.
You northern niggas.
Oh man, cool it. Just because we can read.
You ain't reading and writing shit. Fingers is the only educated one up in here.
I'm with you, son. I want what they got. And I want all of it.
Well, it ain't taking me but a couple of months in this cracker hole to know they ain't got shit. It's gonna be what we make ourselves. Damn straight.
Well, you ain't gonna be making shit for a while. Till they let us go. So get used to it.
Private Masterson. We'll be playing in the Officers Club tonight.
Yes, Sergeant McBride, sir. As requested, sir.
Thank you. I look forward to hearing you.
I think he's got a crush on you, personally speaking.
Well, personally speaking, I should just kick your ass. Besides, you all don't say nothing about going to the club with me and drinking all that free liquor.
Yeah, buddy. We usually set. Just as long as we don't look at their women.
Or have them catch us looking.
Exterior, outside the mess tent, late afternoon. They remove their plates and head outside to smoke.
Man, you be looking.
Hell yeah! They got some interesting women rolled up in there.
They're all white.
Like I said, plus, we need to be there to be back up for fingers.
The hell you mean?
I see how those women be looking at you when you work in that saxophone.
You ain't supposed to be looking.
They all get all excited and oozing when you start. They're making that baby moan. Start filling up them keys.
You making me wonder if you're the one getting excited.
Fuck you. That's why those officers want those strong colored boys rolling in there playing that heathen music. You help them get their woman all wet.
Man, you a fool.
Well, he's right. That's why they only let 4 of us play in there. I'm surprised they even let us have guests. Figure we'll keep each other in line.
That's why they're figuring. That's what they're figuring. Plus, I ain't thinking about their women.
I ain't never heard you thinking about no woman. Never heard you talking about one. You sure you ain't?
Man, I'll hurt you. I got other things on my mind besides a piece of skirt. I got to get my plan together for when I get out of here.
Well, ain't nothing helps you get your plan together better than the touch of a good woman. Or is it a bad woman with a good touch? Help.
He don't never talk about no tail back home. I ain't seen him write a letter one.
That's because I ain't got no woman with no tail. And it don't make no sense to be holding on to no woman when you don't know how long uncle's gonna hold you.
I'd hold on tight forever if I found a good woman.
Then I'd keep holding until I find another one.
Hey.
You're a fool, finger.
I think he's been rubbing his horn too long.
Saxophone, Junior. Saxophone.
Dissolved to interior bunkhouse later that night. Leonard lays on his bunk smoking a cigarette. Dissolved to interior living room night. Leonard is back in the living room with Lena. She holds her head back and laughs as he spins her around. Dissolved to interior Lena's bedroom night. Lena lays on her bed as if holding the same memory and image. The scene begins to expand in her mind. Dissolved to interior living room night. They continue the dance back at the party.
I just plan to take it one step at a time. I don't know what to expect.
That can be exciting.
It's a war, Lena.
Sorry, I do get carried away.
That's okay. Someone's got to see the good side of things. Can't be all bad.
It can't be all bad. That's my job, to see the good.
Sounds like a deal.
Deal.
Dissolved to interior bunkhouse night. Leonard sits straight up in his bunk and shakes his head as if he has been sharing the same memory and image. He lights up another cigarette and leans against the wall. Dissolved to interior living room night. Leonard and Lena continue to dance. They move slowly with a swaying motion that lets them know they don't have to move too much. By now, they fit. Lena stands with her head buried in Leonard's chest. His large hands encompass almost her entire body. Dissolved to interior bunkhouse night. Leonard stamps out the second cigarette and looks out the window. Exterior, the streets of downtown Boston to Roxbury, winter 1943, late afternoon. Leonard walks from Dr. Cristiello's office on Tremont Street, where she works as the office secretary. She walks past the Boston Common to the Chinatown train. She rides the historic elevated train track that will take her to Dudley Station in Roxbury. She takes a bus that will bring her home. It is cold. The bus is late, so Lena walks up Warren Street with packages in both hands. Driving slowly beside her is Henry Mad Williams, age 19. He is a handsome, light-skinned black man of thin, muscular build. He speaks to her through the open window of his new Cadillac, which is rare given that the war is on and no new cars are being made. Mad conducts is as a gentleman of dubious means.
Hey, my woman, wait up for your man.
Henry Madison Williams, you know my name.
All right now, Miss Lena, just wait up. A pretty girl like you should not be out here walking these cold streets alone. Anybody ever teach you a lesson about safety?
Anybody ever teach you a lesson about manners? Driving up on somebody like that?
Okay, Lena, damn. All I want to do is give you a ride home. Can I do that?
That's all.
That's all.
Am I gonna get arrested if I get in this car?
No, at least I don't think so.
Oh, hell no, I'll walk.
Then wait a minute. I'll walk you the rest of the way. Girl, you sure are difficult.
Keep you on your toes, Mr. Williams.
I just want to make sure you get home okay. And I want to ask you, what are you doing for New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve? That's about a month away or more. Gotta get through Thanksgiving still.
Well, you got to prepare in this world. I was just wondering, what are you preparing to do for New Year's Eve?
I haven't given it much thought. Do I have to?
You might want to bring in the New Year's. They say how you spend your New Year's Eve is how you're going to spend the rest of your year.
That's so. You think that being with you will help me have a good new year?
I don't know, but it sure helped me. Come on, Lena. When you think about it,
I'll think on it. And I'll think hard, okay? I'm just not ready to decide yet.
I just want to be holding you in my arms when the world hits midnight.
Mabel comes to the front porch of the triple-decker as Lena and Matt approach.
We'll see. Now go. I've got to get upstairs.
Henry Madison Williams, is that you sniffing around my baby cousin?
Ain't nobody sniffing up you, loud girl. I was just making sure Lena gets home safely.
Safely from who? Lena's father doesn't like anybody walking his daughter after hours. He's out here working 2 jobs trying to keep her on the straight and narrow.
And that's why he got you watching her. Seems someone should let him know.
Get on with your bad self. Lena, go upstairs.
You
Bye,
see me,
Mom.
Lena.
Thanks for the walk
You
home.
see me.
Interior kitchen a few minutes later. Lena puts her packages in her bedroom down the hall and returns to the kitchen where Mabel eyes her carefully.
What?
What do you mean, what?
Nothing.
Don't nothing me. You know that boy is crazy.
You just wanted to walk me home. No big deal.
Now you know you are my responsibility until your father comes home.
You're supposed to keep me company, not in prison.
You know you got a whole lot of sass.
I'm not a child.
But I am older. And I know boys like Mad only have one thing on their mind. I'm not letting him get a chance on my baby cousin. Besides, you can do better than Mad. He's always trying to run a hustle.
These days, that's called work.
I know, Lena. I don't want you to get your heart broken. You've got a good job. You don't want to mess that up with foolishness.
I know you love me, but life is going to happen. Don't you want more?
I want you to be careful. These men aren't out here thinking about you. And you know, Matt's one of these number running niggas. A good job is an honest paycheck.
I know this, but Mabel, don't you want more? Don't you want to travel or get married or something more than teaching other people's children all day long? Is this all there is?
Of course, I want more, but you gotta start somewhere. Good jobs are hard to find. First, you get all loved up all over that good for nothing, alcoholic wannabe soldier, and then you go tripping over a man they call mad. Does it make any sense to you?
Hey, Leonard is not an alcoholic wannabe soldier. He wants to do things. He wants to fly planes and travel the world like me.
Have you heard from him?
No. We are at war, Mabel.
I'll give him that. Then the idea of you hanging out with Mad makes no sense when you put it that way.
Makes plenty sense to me. He's here right now. And that's all I need to worry about.
You're gonna find yourself all banged up and pregnant and no place to go. Your father isn't gonna keep you here after he's been working hard to do right by you. The poor blessed spirit of your mother.
You leave my mother out of this just because I don't want to do things the way you want me to. I've barely kissed the man and you're fussing at me for walking down the street with him. Besides, I've got stuff to do.
Like what?
I've got to figure out what I'm going to wear when Matt takes me out for New Year's Eve.
Lena walks down the hallway. Mabel stands in the doorway with her mouth open. She shakes her head as Lena walks away. Interior, the Officers Club, New Year's Eve, 1943, night. Fingers, hands caress his saxophone as he solos at the Officers Club. The musicians are playing wildly in the background as the combo kicks into gear. It is New Year's Eve in the Officers Club, and there's a whole lot of stroking going on. Stroking of horns, caressing of the drum snare, hands working on skirt hems and hips, black fingers on the instruments intercut with white hands on thighs. At Junior and Leonard's table, they are just sitting there, tapping their feet and stroking their drinks.
This place sure is jumping. Listen to fingers blow.
Yeah, it's jumping in here, all right.
What's the matter with you, man? Have a good time. You're almost done with your first year already.
I'm hoping to make it a second. Something don't feel right.
What you mean?
Thank you. This is, would all the actors come back, please? And also Lois, writer. Yay. Woo-hoo. We did it. Our first daily reads. Yay. Okay. Oh, yes, you are here, Lois. Yay. All right. First up, I want everybody to take a bow, and I'll name you, and you just say your name and the character that you played. We'll start from the beginning, start with the narrator.
Hi, my name is David J. Curtis. Thank you for having me on this, and you guys were amazing. Thank you. And thank you, Lois.
Thank you all. I hid myself so well, I can't bring myself back. So I
No, we see you. We see you. You're on. Yes, we see you. Okay, Naheem.
Oh, Naheem Garcia as Leonard. Thank you.
Daniel.
Daniel Callahan as Fingers. Thank you, Lois.
Odis.
Hi, Pastor Johnson and James. Thank you.
Well, I'm listed next. So Andrea Lyman, I played Sarah Jane, and I loved playing Sarah Jane. I love your work, Lois. Lois and I go way back. Josh?
Yes, Joshua Olumide. I played Lil Pete and Sergeant McBride. Thank you.
Carmen?
Carmen Dillon, and I played mature Mabel.
Lashmi?
Hi, my name is Lashmi Vizcaino, and I played young Mabel.
Maria?
Hi, I'm Maria Wilkins. I was Marlene and Aunt Blanche, and this was awesome. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Ezra?
Ezra Stevens, I play Mad Williams. Thank you so much, Lois.
Ashley?
I'm Ashley Alderando, and I played Lena and Linda. Thank you.
And Justin?
Justin D. Davis, and thank you so much, Lois.
Great. Well, Lois, thank you so much for sharing your vision with us. And what was the inspiration for writing this particular piece?
Our parents.
Oh.
I felt it was important to honor my mom and my dad and the moms and dads of that era. And so I'm including yours as well, Andrea.
Oh.
I just feel like we see so many movies about Boston and parking our car in the Harvard Yard and hanging out in Dorchester. And we got Black people who live here, y'all. We have folks who go back here generations beyond generations. And I just got frustrated. And that was part of the beginning of this. But also a huge piece of this is about the riot in 1967 that destroyed Blue Hill Avenue. And so you all got the fun part of it in the beginning and the introduction of the characters and their journey, but the hook into gentrification in the city of Boston is also a huge piece of this. And as I look around our city today, I wonder how much of it I could shoot here. Would I have to go to Vancouver? Would I have to go to other places to simulate and create what Boston looked like and doesn't necessarily look like right now due to gentrification?
Wow. Were there any surprises in hearing it read?
Oh, you guys were amazing. And I'm very happy because we're doing this on Zoom. Hey, Lisa, I'm sending you a hug. And because we're doing this on Zoom, I have two creative families in the same space. So I got my folks on the LA side of the world who get to hang out with us. And then they get to see my Boston crew, some of who I'm getting ready to work with, getting ready to do this play called Raisin in the Sun. I see you. And so I see you too. And so, yeah. And also I haven't heard it in a long time. It's been a couple of years since I heard it. A lot has changed in life over these past couple of years since I first wrote it. So you guys were amazing. And I'm sitting up here howling and I'm like, oh, I wrote that line. That was good. Thank you.
And then did listening to it make you want to change anything or did it confirm what you originally thought of the characters? Is there anything like you're like, I hadn't thought of it that way?
Yeah, I have a really bad habit of editing. So I always like to, based on what I hear, cut and change and paste and shift. And the people who have been tortured along the way to read different versions of my scripts know that I like to, I see you laughing, Naheem, know that I like to keep making changes. That's just the work. And I'll just keep doing that until one day somebody gives us the $10 million we need to make it. I see you at Deco. Until we make the $10, get the $10 million we need to make these bad boys.
That was going to be my next question. What are your plans or hopes in filming this?
I've got 4 and I shop them around consistently. Consistently. And I've done well with one in particular that folks are continue to look like and look at and made it as far as a semi-finalist for the Writers Lab. It's that project produced by this woman named Meryl Streep and Nicole Kidman, and they advance writers up to a certain point, and then people do start to look at you, but my timing is always off. I mean, this thing called the Writers Guild strike is important. It is key, and it is a struggle, and it's part of the journey. And if it means that we wait to the other side of this because it'll be better for all of us, then we wait. And I just had to speak up on that as well.
Well, thank you for speaking up on it. I completely agree. And what's been your experience with the Roxbury Film Festival over the years?
Well, I'll let Lisa speak to that.
Be careful, be careful. I'm here, be careful.
But I think we had Top of the Rocks for what, Lisa, 10 years, 12 years as part of first night?
Yeah, that's right. That was wonderful.
There's a question on the chat. Somebody, a gentleman by Hans, or a person named Hans Krager. I apologize.
Oh yeah, I know Hans. He's on our board.
Yep. Who inspired the character Leonard? Here we go.
Leonard is my dad and my uncles. They were drafted into World War II. And they come from that silent generation that did not speak their stories. And so being the writer that I was as a kid that I didn't know I was going to be, I was nosy. And so oftentimes I would be in rooms where I wasn't supposed to be, or sitting outside rooms. And when my uncles would get together and have their conversations, they talked about being down south and their perceptions, the way people perceived them as Black men from the North versus coming down south. And so where folks from the South thought they might have different understandings around the Ku Klux Klan and just how things happened down south, these were brothers from Boston. And they didn't take a whole heck of a lot from, I'm trying not to swear on here, but they didn't take a whole heck of a lot from folks being from Boston. So just the whole different perception of dynamics, Black male, Southern versus North, was its own dynamic. So I tried to capture some of that. But Leonard, to answer the question, those are my uncles and my father.
Do we have any questions or comments from any of the actors?
I want to say something before everybody else jump in. This is probably one of my favorite scripts. I've been doing Lois's work since I started in the business. And I love this story because it's about Roxbury, it's about Boston. And there's a lot of historical stuff. For years, before I read this play, for years, I thought that Grove Hall down all the way down to Dudley, Nubian Square, I thought that was people riding over Martin Luther King, not realizing that it was at the welfare office where women, Black women, stood up for their rights, and it became what it became. So historically, this is on point, outstanding. I hope to see this this movie done. I hope to see this movie done one day. Good job, Lois. Thank you for the honor. Everybody else, lovely.
Thank you, Naheem. Any other, Joshua?
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, indeed. I hope to see this done one day as well. Hearing why you wrote this, having speak about the Black history in Boston. I'm from Framingham, so I never really spent much time in Boston, that area up in Roxbury, but there's so much history in Boston besides the, Paktikana Haviyad. There's a lot of rich history. So I'm glad it's being told.
Yeah, and I just encourage folks to have those conversations. I mean, we're talking about Harriet Tubman, William Lloyd Garrison. We're talking about Beacon Hill and what happened at Beacon Hill. I did a couple of projects. I did 3 webinars for the Museum of African American History. One of them related to Juneteenth that gets a lot of play on the Museum of African American History is anchored, yes, on Beacon Hill, but also in Nantucket. And so just Black folks are here. They're on Tremont Street. They're on Joy Street. Please walk around and just understand that this is a rich city. This is a wealthy city for us. And I think as we have the town, I'm not mad at Ben and Matt. I just want Ben and Matt to see us too. I want them to see John. I want them to see all of us, because we're here. And there is a richness here that also, this is a business. And that as this is a business, this is an additional way to make money.
Mhm. Somebody just mentioned that, of course, we had Malcolm X and Martin Luther King here.
Yes.
And my mom used to lead the Black History Tour. She used to years ago. So
And did you know that Malcolm X worked in the kitchen at the Parker House? Did y'all know that? And did y'all know that he worked in the kitchen at the Parker House with Ho Chi Minh? And that and you all know the stories about, and we're getting ready to do this at the New Rep Theater with the world premiere of Diaspora, that, you know, we all know the Martin Luther King stories of Martin meeting Coretta at New England Conservatory. We now know that story, but that's not a new story. So again, I just always scream to whomever will hear just how rich my city is.
Yeah, and tonight will be the Embrace. So that's in person at the MFA. So we'll be able to hear the wonderful Naheem speaking, because he does the narration on the Embrace if you go to the exhibit. And looks like Lisa has a question. And then one other audience member, Lisa Terry, asked about the use of saxophone as tradition.
I don't have a question at all.
But I saw Lisa Simmons.
This was from the Q&A. What was the methodology of your character development?
Again, I usually start with people I know, and I always try to make sure I do some disguising of the people that I know, so nobody comes chasing me. But if you read my scripts and you know my life, you might have some sense as to who I'm referring to, especially if you're related to me. The other thing is, I see in here about, hey, Lisa, I see you. Everybody should know Lisa, another amazing actress in this town who also taught theater for over 50 million years in Boston public schools. So I'm happy to see that Lisa is here as well. It's just Boston again. I come back to our music, and Wally's is in this screenplay, because I had to include Wally's in this screenplay. And that's, yes, Lisa Terry. And I had to include Wally's in this screenplay because Wally's has so much history. I have a scene in here where when Fingers comes back to town, because eventually when they have an altercation down south, and Fingers, they all get shifted and moved away. So Fingers, you end up in Paris, and you end up with a wife in Paris. And when you come back, you end up playing at Wally's when I bring you back to the United States. So Lena and Leonard, for the first time, have a date for the first time in a long time, because you know it's hard making a living in Boston. So they come to see you at Wally's, and they may end up dancing on the street outside of Wally's. But you gotta see that movie.
That's what's up.
Finished.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Lois. This was fantastic. Do any of the other actors have anything that you wanted to say? Yes, Justin.
Folks don't realize that there are people around.
Carmen, if you could mute if you're talking, that'd be great. Justin?
I was wondering, does Franklin, Junior Franklin, stay down south, or does he move later on in the movie?
So what ends up happening, real quick, because I'm watching the time, but what ends up happening is they all have a New Year's party. So Lena ends up going to the New Year's party with Mad, only just because Mabel told her she couldn't. And then the guys end up going to the officers club to do their New Year's Eve kind of thing. And then what ends up happening is a fight breaks out. So when the fight breaks out, then, you know, you're not supposed to have white officers and black officers fight. But what people don't understand, that as part of our history, those racial fights did happen for real in the armed services. So, yes, Narissa, I do need you. I see you. Yes.
And then we
got
have a
like
question
4
from
movies in
David
this.
and then one from Ezra. And then that'll wrap it up.
It's not a question. It's more of a thank you as a former military and kind of former musician. I appreciate those two nods. And also I would love to see that whole Wally's thing. It's just something about Wally. I played Wally's when I was like 14 years old, years ago. And I would love to see that scene actualized.
And Ezra?
Yay. And Mad.
Ezra?
Yeah, I like how you're going back and forth, I mean, kind of getting a camaraderie and like showing the different times. It brings a vision in my head. Like I did a social play with Dave, and we did similar to that, where we're going in and out of scenes, and it really makes you think and visualize everything as it's going along. So the writing is really, and it gives you a mindset of to think and to visualize the time and then how it works and how these people struggle and what they were going through. Then, how they're enjoying themselves too. So it's a kind of mixture of everything. I really enjoyed the read. Just want to say thank you.
Thank you. And so 2 things I'll say before I'll hush, and that is, 1, y'all should see the scene where we have the riot. But that's a whole other story, because that riot took place over 3 days, folks. 3 days. And then it was one of the first riots before the whole 1968 riots that took over the country. And then the second thing is, I always love working with actors and writers. So at some point in time, I hope we can get in a room with some wine and just sit around and read the whole thing. That's all I'll say. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry we couldn't get to all of the questions, even like a few more, but hey, that's a wonderful thing. The worst thing would be if there's like, that's okay. But it was a wonderful experience. I'm so glad we finally reconnected. I knew Lois when she was, what about like a little girl, like 8 or 9 years old, if that.
6 or 7, but we won't go there.
6 or 7, okay. I remember that, and our parents were friends. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, all of the actors and our writer and our audience. This is wonderful, and welcome to the RoxFilm Festival opening. Official opening is today. Thank you, and we'll see everyone tomorrow.